I'm having the worst hair day. But I'm gonna film anyway. Have you ever noticed a connection between sweet treats that you eat and a breakout the next day? Have you ever wondered why exactly that happens and how to stop it? Share your experience and any thoughts that you might have around this topic. I used to believe that only people with diabetes needed to care about their glucose levels. In fact, everybody used to believe that. But reviewing the latest scientific research showed me otherwise. As I started diving deeper into the root causes of acne and discovering Glucose Goddess on Instagram, and later reading her 2 books, listening to tons of podcasts all about blood sugar, I realized that the majority of people, including my clients and myself, experience multiple glucose spikes throughout the day, which has a direct correlation on their acne. Many skin conditions like acne, eczema, psoriasis are driven by inflammation, which is a consequence of glucose spikes. When we eat in a way that flattens our glucose curves, inflammation is tamed, which helps acne clear up and pimples get smaller. In a study of males aged 15 to 25, the diet that resulted in the flattest glucose curves led to a significant reduction in acne. Getting glucose spikes under control can improve the health and appearance of your skin. So let me ask you this. Do you have acne, eczema, or psoriasis? Do you have sugar cravings? Do you depend on caffeine to give you energy throughout the day? Do you ever feel anxious, depressed, brain fog, mood swings, irritated? If you answered yes to any of those questions, list the one that you're struggling with right now and stay tuned to this video because this could actually change your life, not just your skin.
Does it sound like you're going to have to avoid desserts and treats or go on a restrictive diet just to get rid of your acne? Hang tight because I'm going to give you 3 of my favorite hacks so that you can still enjoy a treat without sacrificing your skin. But first, what is glucose, insulin, and why does it get blamed for causing breakouts?
Glucose is our body's preferred source of energy. Every cell in our body uses glucose to perform its functions. Glucose is very important, and the main way that we provide our bodies with glucose is by eating it. Glucose is found mostly in foods that we call carbohydrates or carbs, which are starchy foods like bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, and sugary foods like fruit, sweets, and desserts. You may think that if we need glucose for energy, more glucose will give us more energy. So we should try to eat as many sugary and starchy foods as possible, right? Actually, that's not the case. A plant needs water to live, but if you give it too much water, it dies. In the same way, give a human too much glucose and bad things start to happen. When we deliver too much glucose too quickly to our body after a meal, we experience what is called a glucose spike. This is not something that only affects people with diabetes. About 80% of the population experiences glucose spikes. These spikes carry with them consequences that can harm our physical and our mental health, and you can actually see it in your skin. These spikes and drops leave us feeling tired. They give us strong food cravings and make us feel hungry every 2 hours. They are linked to inflammation, aging, wrinkles, acne, low mood, PMS, hormone imbalances, PCOS, brain fog, type 2 diabetes, and Alzheimer's. Sometimes it can be easy to ignore or look the other way when it comes to the messaging behind lifestyle factors and acne because it is a process that doesn't necessarily show up right away or overnight, so if it's not here now, well, it's easy to forget about it. But increased blood sugar sends a message to our pancreas to increase a hormone called insulin to take glucose out of the bloodstream. This is a good thing, and we should be thankful for this. But repeated blood sugar spikes throughout the day causes too much insulin to be released into the body. Insulin is a growth hormone, which isn't bad. But if there is too much insulin, it is going to cause inflammation inside your body. And if you are acne prone, that means that your body is showing you that inflammation is definitely happening and it is manifesting it on the outside of your skin in the form of acne. It's sending you a strong message that there is something wrong and it needs to be fixed. Insulin, being a growth hormone, will also stimulate an increase in testosterone, which is also a growth hormone. These together stimulate the hair follicle to overproduce 5 times the healthy amount of skin cells which fall inside the pore. The oil gland receives the message to increase in size, which then starts to produce more oil. This creates the perfect storm for bacteria to grow and later form a baby pimple. Congratulations. If you notice blackheads on your nose or skin, that is also a sign of metabolic or blood sugar dysregulation. It's comical to me that when I walk into a store and I see shelves upon shelves of serum, toners, creams, promising clear, glowing, bouncy, healthy skin, and then a few aisles away is a ton of processed sugary foods, packaged snacks, cookies and donuts, and things that people are eating all day long without knowing that it's actually causing their skin problems. It's not the serum, it's the diet that you really need to focus on in terms of getting gratifying results of better looking skin and also benefiting your health long term. But the good news is that we don't have to live with these symptoms and we don't have to eat a perfect diet because that just doesn't exist. How do we get off this roller coaster? How do we enjoy a treat without a breakout every time we even look at a donut, eat a cracker, or enjoy a baked potato? We flatten the spike.
Here's 3 powerful glucose hacks for acne, beginning with number 3, apple cider vinegar.
This tip doesn't require you to change anything that you're eating. You will simply be welcoming into your daily habits 1 tablespoon of friendly apple cider vinegar. Studies have shown that 1 tablespoon of vinegar can reduce the glucose spikes of a meal by up to 30% and the insulin spike by up to 20%. This is a very cheap trick. Apple cider vinegar doesn't cost that much, and you could literally get $5 a big container of apple cider vinegar and get 60 servings out of that. So it's very inexpensive and very simple to do. Scientists have found that vinegar contains a powerful component called acetic acid, which slows down the rate at which our digestive enzymes break down sugars and starches into glucose. This is good because when this slows down, glucose molecules create smaller spikes. Once acetic acid gets into the bloodstream, it penetrates our muscles. It encourages our muscles to soak up glucose molecules that are floating around and storing them for future energy. How do you do this? The easiest time to take your daily vinegar is in the morning with or before breakfast. You're more likely to remember it if you just do it first thing in the morning. Use a glass straw so that it doesn't break down the enamel on your teeth. And what do you do if you can't stand apple cider vinegar? You can substitute that for 1/4 cup of lime or lemon juice. Number 2, use your muscles for 10 minutes. Simply put, this means to move after eating. You should do this within 90 minutes at the end of one of your meals, and the movement can be as simple as going for a 10-minute walk or doing some calf raises at your desk. If you move after eating, some of the glucose that you have just eaten gets used up by your muscle cells. Your mitochondria turns the extra glucose into energy to fuel your contracting muscles, and the spike reduces. When we move after eating, we flatten our glucose curve without increasing our insulin levels. Moving for 10 minutes is a powerful hack to help flatten our glucose curves, and what's awesome is it doesn't require us to change anything about what we just ate. Even if your meal does not contain starches or sugars, it's still helpful for your body. And my number 1 favorite tip of all time is to eat a savory breakfast and increase the amount of protein that you're eating in each meal. This means starting the day with a meal that's built around protein and fat, and one that includes nothing sweet except whole fruit. For so many years, we were told to start the day with lots of energy, like carb-heavy foods such as toast, cereal, fruit juice, bread, fruit smoothies, oats, and pastries. But science actually shows it to be the exact opposite. It leads to glucose spikes, which gives us an energy crash and makes hunger cravings worse during the day. In the morning, our stomach is empty, so anything that lands in it will be digested extremely quickly, which is why eating sugars and starches at breakfast often leads to the biggest spikes of the day. Breakfast is the worst time to eat just sugar and starches, and yet it's the time at which most people do exactly that. Connecting the dots takes a bit of detective work, but you can usually trace the symptoms of how you feel and how your skin looks during the day right back to breakfast. Protein is the centerpiece of a savory breakfast. It's what keeps you steady, full, and satisfied. Your glucose levels love protein. Greek yogurt, meat, cold cuts, fish, cheese, protein powder, nuts, seeds, eggs, chicken, and grass-fed are all amazing sources of protein. Scramble your eggs in butter or olive oil and add slices of avocado, or add chia seeds or flax seeds. Add it to your Greek yogurt. Fat is really important and it's not to be feared. Try also adding veggies to your breakfast for fiber. Spinach, mushrooms, zucchini, artichoke, sauerkraut, lentils, lettuce, broccoli. And I know that might seem a little weird to be eating that first thing in the morning, especially if this is new to you, but I promise that you're going to start really appreciating starting your day like this. You're not going to miss those sweet breakfasts that you used to eat. So what are some more ways that you can get protein into your day? What I would suggest is eating leftovers for breakfast. And I know that it sounds so weird, but it's the simplest. Literally the simplest, the easiest way to get all your protein, fats, and healthy fiber first thing in the morning. Plus, it's already put together and ready to eat. And I make a few extra servings of dinner so that I actually have enough for the next day. And I assemble it while I'm cleaning up and putting food away in the kitchen. Then I just pop it in the fridge in a glass container and voila. You should be full for 4 hours after a savory breakfast. If you have breakfast at 8 a.m., you should not feel hungry until noon. And that's what you should aim for. And if you do find that you're hungry before noon, that means that you need to increase the amount of protein that you had for breakfast. The question that I get asked all the time is, how in the world do you eat like this? And my suggestion is to have a lot of protein on hand, already cooked, like grilled chicken and ground beef or wild salmon, so that you can easily grab it and have it ready. Because if it's not cooked, you're not gonna eat it and you're probably gonna gravitate towards some carbohydrates or something sweet to eat while you're waiting for your protein to cook. Many scientists and nutritionists recommend at least 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal, and I find that most clients really feel good and they notice a difference in their skin when they follow that rule of thumb. And when you do eat carbohydrates with your meal, just remember to eat them at the end of your meal. When you sit down to eat your breakfast, lunch, or dinner, look at your plate and start with your veggies, then eat your protein, your fats, and save your carbohydrates for last. It doesn't mean that you can't have carbohydrates, it just means eat them at the end of your meal. If we can get 50 likes on this video, I will share and create a video all about acne-friendly foods and snacks that you can make anytime that are super easy, super simple, and high protein. So remember, give this a like. Let's see if we can get to 50. Remember that you can have these sweet foods, and the best time to eat them for your glucose is as a dessert, meaning after lunch or after dinner. Avoid them in your breakfast and you will set your day and your skin up for success. What I'm advocating for is blood sugar and acne awareness. Be very aware of what you're eating, because our health, our skin, it all starts with the food that we eat. And if we can manage our blood sugar with little tools like apple cider vinegar, movement, and protein-forward meals, we can still enjoy a treat. Just eat it at the end of your meal and then go for a walk. And remember this important link between blood sugar and acne. Excessive spikes in blood sugar raise insulin. Insulin raises growth hormone. Growth hormone causes hypercell growth, and hypercell growth causes inflammation in the follicle, which creates a baby pimple. If you liked these tips and want more help with your acne, or you know someone who's really struggling, send them this video or join me in my 12-week Clear Skin From Within program, where we do hair testing to determine your deficiencies. We get you on the right skincare routine and teach you exactly how to determine acne root causes that are making you break out. Acne can be an emotional roller coaster, but it doesn't have to be if you have all the right tools to heal. And you can reach out to me here in the comments, or you can find me on Instagram Instagram and direct message me there, or you can just go to LW Skincare to find out more details.